National Anthem of Cuba. Please remain standing for the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In goal, number 22, JDL Chance. Orion Velox. DL Spring, Cornelius.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, listening to this live broadcast of the World Cup 2022 qualification. A match today featuring Vincent from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and a team from Cuba. We're here live at the Grenadines National Stadium, downtown Spice Capital, St. George's, and we're happy that you are able to join us. We say a special good evening to the friends in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as to the folks in Cuba who might just be joining this broadcast in English, I must say, as we have nice, pristine conditions here at the Grenadines Athletic Stadium for this very interesting encounter. It's a dead rubber, if you may want to call it that, because neither teams can actually qualify out of this group to go to the next stage. And just to give you, to let you know briefly that commentators for today's game is Selwyn Noel and myself, Leslie Smith. And we have a very able team here of TNR Communications bringing it to you live from the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Selwyn, good evening and welcome to the broadcast.
Good evening, Leslie, and indeed a beautiful day for football, I should say. The weather conditions conducive to good play, not much sunshine. Pleasant afternoon to all you football fans out there in Grenada and the rest of the OECS region and the wider CARICOM. St. Vincent and the Grenadines defending the goal on the northern end, and Cuba, the goal on the southern end, southern or River Road end. Cuba, red and white strip, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines SVG in the gold strip, gold and black. Let's see, St. Vincent and the Grenadines not having a good time in Guatemala in their last game. Nonetheless, Guatemala are a very powerful outfit. Number 23 for Cuba on the ball, and that is Luis Javier, together with number 11, Lazaro. And they are the strikers, and you see Luis Javier on the ball. Just to give you a rundown, that's Barrientos Nelson, Carlos Alberto, Gillian Yosel, Amador Modesto, Luis Jorge Luis, Karel Alde, David Fabricio, William Archiel, Luis Javier, and O'Neill Lazaro, the 11 for Cuba. for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have chance in goal: Velox, Spring, Stewart, Bess, Sutherland, York, Nazir, Edwards, Charles, and Francis. And there goes the tap off. Ball at the back for Cuba. Game has just started, and good to know that the GFA and the Ministry of Health here in Grenada has summoned spectators to the ground today, and the rule goes that once you are twice vaccinated, you are entitled to entry into the Kirani James International Athletic and Football Stadium. The ball into touch for a throw to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So if we just take a quick look at the group standings for Group C in this World Cup qualifier, we have Curacao and Guatemala with 9 points and a goal difference of 14 as well. But Guatemala has not yet conceded a goal, so they may just be top of the group. Cuba on 3 points, and Vincent on 3, and BVI on 0.
Jorge Luis makes a backward pass into the midfield there. That's Davide. Cuba in possession here. Ball back with all there. St. Vincent showing no purpose to step up to win possession. Infringement goes on number 23. Luis Javier for Cuba. And this is number 16, Spring, getting the ball for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, changing the play. Not a good one. A little too far over. Oh, that's for Stewart. Stewart not being able to hold on to it. The throw is going to be taken. Cuba in possession this time. A bit of holding in it. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines defense getting the ball over the touchline. Throw to be taken quickly. A tussle there for possession, and it's cleared out of the danger zone. Into touch it goes. Nil-nil encounter here.
So Salman, I was making the point, St. Vincent had a very torrid tournament, I would think. Of the 3 games they played so far, they've actually won 1. That's against the U.S. Virgin Islands. And they went down to Curacao 5-0, as well as 10-0 to Guatemala. So there's a lot to play for them in terms of redemption and pride as well.
My heart goes out to their situation. It's definitely wasn't an easy one. And how they have held up, pretty remarkable. And I would want to applaud them for staying in the game and making the best of the opportunities as they see it. I'm not too sure whether anything much or more could have been done. But it is good football. They were here in Grenada training for these 2 games, and indeed they did good work of it. Today it's expected that we will see a much better outfit. Let us look to see the coordination that is going to take place. Probably they now settling to feel that kind of relationship that is there for football within the OECS region by Grenada having them here for this short space of time to do their training. Indeed, I know that the Grenada Football Association was glad to help, and they did so, and let's say all kudos to them going forward. This is Cuba winning possession of that ball on the right side, looking to go forward. That's Davide, the right wing back for Cuba. 1-2 ball, and the defender on the far left there doing the cleanup for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ball bubbling back again. St. Vincent and the Grenadines wins away possession, and that seems to be Francis on this side. Infringement goes. Orgelo Luis for Cuba at the defense there, he always seems to be overlapping, and probably it's within the strategy of play when they are in possession of the ball. And number 18 takes it for, that seems to be York for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a nice searching ball, and it falls there in the back with Carlos Alberto to goalkeeper Nelson, breaking the play loose on the right this time. Jorge Luis. Backward pass, finding Carlos Alberto, playing that central defender role. Modesto, looking for his man on the flank. Ball comes back into the middle again. Alberto looking to go forward. All there. Back to Modesto. Modesto looking for his man on the right side. Finds him quite nicely. And a tussle there for possession.
Something what I've noticed here with St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the early runnings, as opposed to what we saw against Guatemala, they're marking a lot better in this game. Against Guatemala, the marking I thought was very, very poor, especially inside of their own penalty area. But now we can see them compressing and really making it difficult for Cuba to move the ball around because of the good marking they're showing off here today.
Exactly so. And this is one of the reasons I looked at them just in the early minutes and realized that they are a settled bunch. And, you know, they are coming into their own more so. It's going to be a free kick to be taken by Jorge Luis for Cuba. Good man-to-man marking there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Nice calling ball. It's headed away. Back there with Alberto finding his man number 11. That's Lazaro. And a cross ball could probably danger, and the ball tucked away out of the danger zone. Number 14 for Cuba. All there. Playing it to Modesto. Modesto looking for his man on the right. It's headed in possession of number 7. That seems to be Nazir for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so winning away possession. And the clearance come getting the ball out of the danger zone. It's headed into touch on the far right side by Cuba. So it's going to be a throw to St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the far left side. Throw quickly taken. Ball back with the left wing back for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Looking for that deep searching cross on the right side. Finding Stewart. Can't make much of it. Carlos Alberto takes it down, plays it to all there, to Modesto. That's within the defensive position. Nice 1-2 ball on the right side there for Cuba. Sending his man running on the right side. He gets there and the ball goes over the goal line. It's going to be a goal kick. Very good pressure coming in there on the far left-hand side for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The goal kick is going to be taken by goalkeeper Chance.
Again, not much between those two teams, Cello. If you look at the rankings in CONCACAF, Cuba at the moment is ranked at 15, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 24. And not much we see even in the play here today between both teams. Cuba at the moment enjoying a little bit more possession than St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But again, we're still within the first 10 minutes of play. So I think both teams are really trying to settle in their own rhythm and maybe string some passes together, get a feel of the conditions as well, before they look to make any real purpose on goal.
Throw going to be taken in favor of Cuba. Number 13 is there, Jorge Luis. Long throw in the middle. Archiel carrying the ball around, finding all there to David. Nice cross ball, the header comes in. Chance was there. Harmlessly takes it quite nicely. Chance, 21 years, coming through the ranks of national football in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the prowl this time. And a through pass, not read properly. And that was the man jockeying, Carlos Alberto, playing the central defender role.
Again, Selma, we see some poor marking in the defense of St. Vincent. There were actually 3 defenders, there were 1 Cuban, and he was able to pick up that cross. So that was the same error they were making against Guatemala, and it seems to be a communication error on the back lineup, not being able to mark properly the forwards of the opposing teams.
Modesto. Carlos Alberto. Finding his man on the left flank. That seems to be Luis. Sends his man running, Lazaro. Backward pass to William. Cuba commanding possession. St. Vincent and the Grenadines jockeying in the position. Nice chip ball. Problems here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What a miss. And we had, that was Nigel Charles, it was, on that far post.
Because Howie Lewis for Cuba who really squandered that opportunity. There he was, clear chance on goal. Goalkeeper was already beaten already. And had it been on target here, it could have been 1-0 in favor of Cuba.
Somewhere along the line, it looks very easy to get through the SVG defense. You've seen a lot of spaces there.
And what is interesting, Cuba is not coming forward with much numbers, but yet still able to penetrate and permeate the defensive lineup for St. Vincent.
Francis finding his man on the far side, and the ball goes into touch. Throw to Cuba. Quickly taken. Finding at Arichel. Yosel. Cuba now look like they are coming forward in numbers. Man on the far side there, getting that chip ball in, but apparently it went over the goal line. It's not signaled. The goalkeeper and the linesman communicating, the linesman acknowledging that the ball went over the goal line, so it's going to be a goal kick to SVG, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's a chance in the goal there to take it. Beautiful deep searching kick. The heads go up. Tussle for possession here. St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming around quite nicely. And infringement goes.
So most of the Vincentian players, St. Vincent, are basically home-based players, as opposed to many of the other teams in the competition who have opted to go for their overseas-based players. If you look at quite a number of the players here, they're very young to start with, and they're from most of the home-based clubs.
Not seeing much of the players here with the kind of experience and trouble for Cuba, and the goalkeeper coming off his line, not being able to hold. Cuba winning away possession here, looking for that counter attack, and still in possession here, moving through the midfield. Nice nippy play, finding his man on the left side. That's number 19, William, and losing possession. A lot of roughness going on in the tackles this time. And number 9, that seems to be short around with it, still holding on to possession. Good fighting spirit. And a bad pass indeed, and infringement in the process. The referee is going to have a word with him.
Well, Cornelius Stewart-Selvin is a rock of Gibraltar in the defense and a veteran. He's captain of the team as well. And he comes in with some 49 caps, so a wealth of experience as well.
Well, we see there the way he fought to get or hold the possession, and the men around him, they're very stout. He has that body mass to fend off any attack, and he did so quite well. But an infringement in the latter stage, giving a free to Cuba. Jorge Luis seemed to be the specialist in the dead ball situations. This is his second. A lot of jockeying going on just on the 18-yard marker. Nice chip, left booter. Nice chip ball again. The goalkeeper comes off his line, makes a good save, and thought that he might have been fouled in the process.
So again, we saw the numbers packing in the box here for Cuba as a second bite of the cherry, so to speak, coming from the dead ball situation. The heads go up, goalkeeper coming off his line really nicely, taking the ball at its highest point as well. But in the process, colliding with about 3 of the Cuban attackers who were looking there for that loose ball. And the referee quite rightly blowing the foul on this occasion.
You can see the chance needs a little bit more experience. The ball was pretty high, and he did make height, And normally when a goalkeeper goes up at that height, you need to go up with full guarded, and they don't come into collision with the opposing player. St. Vincent and the Grenadines here looking to go on the attack, and the ball is put over the goal line for their first corner of the match.
Selvin, I would love to see young Orion Velox really get involved in the play for St. Vincent. He's a youngster, 16 years old. I think he may be the youngest in the tournament too, from Layu. And we'd really like to see him get some service from the midfielders and see what he can offer. He has one goal, sorry, he has only one cap for St. Vincent. He hasn't yet scored, and maybe that might be the right time for him to record his name on the score sheet.
It's going to be...
But I see him taking the corner now.
Nice calling ball, and opportunity there for St. Vincent. Goes a begging, and the shot comes in, ricochets, and go over the goal line. So it's going to be another corner. Very good corner indeed by Velox. And probably we would see another one like it. A left booter. Curling inside. This time it's low. It's tucked away out of the danger zone. Velox gets it. Place it just inside the 18-yard box. St. Vincent again winning away possession. And a nice left booter inside, but this time it's a wayward. A little purpose here from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team going forward. And probably that would give them the oomph to move much better over the 18-yard box. They're now coming off their own. They got to get rid of that attack from Cuba and probably push up a little more from midfield and send the strikers running. Cuba, nonetheless, with a possession. Number 13, that seems to be Luis. Yes, Luis, Jorge Luis, getting the ball backward. Finding Alberto. Alberto to Modesto. Modesto, a lot of running ahead. Finding his man forward on the right flank this time. Cuba moving 1-2. St. Vincent and the Grenadines here winning away possession. Nice through ball on the far side. That seems to be Edwards. The ball going into touch, through for Cuba. Deep searching ball by Alde. Falling harmlessly into goalkeeper chance. Breaking the play loose on the right side. Nigel Charles. Looking to find his man inside. That's Francis. He's robbed of possession. The ball going back to goalkeeper Nelson of Cuba. Breaking the play loose on the right side to Modesto this time. Modesto and the right winger seem to have a beautiful coordination going. Modesto, number 2 for Cuba. Plays it now, finding Alberto. Possession football here by Cuba, 1-2 it in the spaces. On the right flank. Man, he's dummy his man. The ball staying on the line. And nice steal here by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Cuba putting back some pressure here. And looking for a shot is a good one. And it's saved. Chance getting there quite rightly. He followed the ball. It was within his trajectory.
Well, it was a good build-up by Cuba. Switching the ball from left to right, and then a great shot coming in here. But Chance getting the fingertips to it, and then his best friend, the bar, saved the day for him on the last occasion. But again, Cuba dominating possession and really stringing together some beautiful passes. And being able to find some holes in the defensive lineup for SVG.
Xavier playing it now to Lazaro. Nice chip ball. And Cuba putting on some pressure here on the St. Vincent and the Grenadines defense. The 1-2 ball through the spaces seem to be getting through quite nicely for the Spaniards. Spaniards, I should call them. Would I be correct?
I think it would be safe to say Cubans.
Nice chip ball. A bit too wayward. And the ball goes in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for a goal kick. 0-0 situation here at Kirani James International Athletic Stadium, Athletic and Football Stadium. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession.
Just about 20 minutes gone in this encounter, and it's still 0-0. And Cuba looking the better team so far, creating more opportunities as well. St. Vincent really trying to come out of their own half, but being pressured.
Number 2 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that seems to be best doing the cleanup. But the ball goes into touch on the far side. It's going to be a throw into Aritel. Good turn here. Ball tucked out of the danger zone. Going back into the possession of Cuba. Nelson coming forward. Alberto, Modesto. Nice through ball on the flank. Trouble here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that shot coming in. The goalkeeper very agile in the process, read it quite rightly, and the chance is not disappointing this afternoon.
Well, Chance has been called on to make some beautiful saves so far. On this occasion, he was trumps as well. Strung himself to the far right and really stopping this one beautiful, Selvin. Yourself being a former goalkeeper, you'd have been impressed with that save from Chance.
Well, obviously, yes, because he was blinded. So I was also blinded. And the shot was a snapshot, probably a surprise. And he moved quickly to his right, got it down in the prone position. Probably harmlessly nonetheless, because this is the nature of goalkeeping in training. Moving from left to right, diving for so many times to the left on one training afternoon and so many times to the right. So he's accustomed to it. And as a matter of fact, he is very agile. He's young and 21 years. Cuba now going forward. Problems for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Winning away possession quite nicely. Getting the ball out of the danger zone. Nice long pass. It's a one away there by Cuba. Going forward into the middle of the field this time. That was the captain moving around there. The man on the far right has it. Nice looking for his 1-2. Arichel loses out possession, and very good pass by the Cuban here, looking for that trick pass, but the Cuban midfield wins away possession quite nicely. Willian with it, moving to his right, giving some problems in midfield for Cuba. The ball tucked away from the danger zone. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession this time. Stewart with it. Plays it forward to his man. That's number 17. Edwards loses out possession. St. Vincent and the Grenadines regains possession. This time looking to cause some problems. Up the flank. On the left side. Cross ball. It's a poor one. Intercepted there. All there. Place it on the right side. Cuba now moving with a little bit more purpose. St. Vincent and the Grenadines probably winning away possession in midfield, not being able to hold on for any long period of time. Cuba plays his man on the left flank this time. Luis in possession. Number 14 looking for that through ball. Not a good one. Cuba winning away possession. Nice chip ball on the far side. Problems for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A wayward ball. And this is number 18 doing the cleanup for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Jamal Yok. So Cuba again continuing to press on, continuing to look for that go-ahead goal in this encounter. Some 25 minutes gone. But St. Vincent on a counter-attack here now with Captain Cornelius. But good defensive work indeed here by Cuba in the likes of Jorge Luis.
St. Vincent need to apply some more pressure. They getting the runaway balls and probably not pressing on. Because
but it's good to see Cornelius coming forward,
yes,
you know. playing a more attacking midfielding role. You know, he has it now, plays it inside, but the numbers are not there. Velox was there looking, but the pass wasn't well directed for him. As Cuba come forward again.
All the year. Plays it to Modesto. All they're moving through again. Nice through ball, and the goalkeeper comes off his line.
I thought Sutherland read the pass pretty well. That's Javid Sutherland. And Javid Sutherland Selvin is one of the legacy players for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As a matter of fact, his father, Verbin Sutherland, was a member of the 1996 St. Vincent team that went to the Gold Cup. That was the only occasion they went to the Gold Cup. So he has a lot within his genes and his history to play for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's number 5, Javin Sutherland.
Mm-hmm.
But he would be called upon to do quite a lot today because Cuba is really exerting a lot of pressure on the defense here for SVG.
Well, so far, they have been very fortunate not to see a goal passed, and at least it's good that they are getting into the spirit. This is the captain's shot, looking for that cross ball intercepted. All there.
Cuba really taking a time about it now, Selvin. The pace has really slowed down in terms of the intensity that they had going forward. St. Vincent really coming a little bit more into their own now and holding back Cuba a bit.
I think that they should come probably more forceful out there in midfield, because if you look at Cuba, they are building up the momentum when they reach into the midfield, especially with the through passes. So far, so good for St. Vincent and the Grenadines that one hasn't crossed the chance, and chance is equal to the task nonetheless this afternoon. Cuba in possession, running around quite nicely.
St. Vincent is really pushed back now. You can see all the numbers just outside of the penalty area. So even though the numbers are there, Cuba still maintains possession. But it's going to be really difficult to penetrate those numbers in the back there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As we see it, Kamal Bess here, been put under some pressure by the Cubans, but maintaining his composure. Kamal Bess, pretty much inexperienced, only 3 caps for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So he's been really called to duty under some tough circumstances.
I think that his height probably is his advantage. He has the height to his advantage, especially in the defense. Long, deep searching ball by chance, falling in the Cuba back defensive territory.
So as we mentioned earlier on, Selin, both teams cannot qualify out of this zone based on the number of points they have. Both teams are on 3 points at the moment, having won and lost 2. This is the final game in the group stage. Already Curacao and Guatemala are on 9 points each, and they'll be playing against each other for the eventual winners of Group C.
Cuba here in the attack this time. A wayward shot.
So we're seeing a lot better marking by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and really we see a lack of creativity now from Cuba because of the marking that has been employed here by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They can't really find the spaces as they were finding earlier on, and there we saw an opportunity that was taken here that was a non-opportunity, so to speak, and that is because of how St. Vincent and the Grenadines have really compacted things in the back lineup.
Xavier to take that corner for Cuba. See some pushing going on there at the back. headed away, and it goes there to the boot of the midfielder, the Cuban midfielder, winning away possession this time. St. Vincent and the Grenadines a little slow to get off that defensive zone, and the ball falls into the back three for Cuba. All there with it. Plays it on the right side, finding Modesto. Deep searching ball, and wayward for a goal kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Chance is going to take it.
Chance very much involved in the
Yes.
place, Selvin.
What I gather here, the way he is playing this afternoon, you can see he loves his game. I know that some goalkeepers usually wish if they would be playing outside after you may see a number of golden opportunities going a begging. You would have that kind of anxiety. And I could only say that on the basis of experience. Nice chip ball by Luis, finding his man and being put under some pressure, looking to turn around. He gets around quite nicely, and that's number 11. Back ball problems here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's cleared away, and that was Lazaro who made that running for Cuba. Stewart being put under some pressure, gets the ball to his midfielder. That seems to be Francis. Man on the far side for St. Vincent and the Grenadines now coming forward. Good ball. Nice through ball. This is Alberto winning away possession. Being put under some pressure. He gets rid of it early. And the ball going with William, looking to find his man on the far side. That seems to be Arichel. Switching positions this time. Yosel gets it. Finding all there. Plays it on the left flank to number 13. That seems to be Luis. Possession football by Cuba.
So I think Cuba is playing right. They're playing out a patient football, but I think they're just choosing the wrong opportunities to go forward, even after they string a number of passes together, as we saw the shot coming there again. So they're trying to frustrate the Vincentian players by playing possession football, but they're still not able to make that penetrating pass to slip past the defense and go forward.
I want to have the feeling also that Stewart is playing too low down. I think that he should be playing a bit higher, because most of the time when he wins away possession for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he's too low, and he has too much work to do to distribute that ball to get forward. So I thought that he should be playing.
Another consideration for Stewart too is maybe he should play in the middle of the field rather than on the outside right position. So that is something else that the coach may want to look at as well. That's Mercury for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to see if he can maybe switch Cornelius to the middle of the field, because he's getting a lot of possession, but he doesn't have much options in terms of finding players. The referees for today, Celo, keeping track of things. We have the Mexican team here with Fernando Guerrero as the referee, and his assistants Andres Hernandez and Katia Garcia. The fourth official being Cesar Ramos, all from Mexico. And the referee's assessor here is Sandra Serafini from the US. So not much to do for the officials, because quite a tame and quiet game. Not much physical action as well. As you see,
as you said earlier, it's hardly anything to play for. I'm not too sure what next for the both teams. The thing about it is that the competition is probably a tough one. If it's not being analyzed from the word go, you will have problems, because in this competition, when I looked at it the way it was drafted out, you just can't bear to lose a game. And the thing about it now, based on how FIFA had arranged the points for their tournaments, anytime you draw a game, you tend to be at a disadvantage.
exactly so, because you lose 2 points in drawing a game. It's almost like a loss.
Yes.
Trying to get the player that's down, Selwyn, who's been stretchered off here. We didn't see the nature of the injury that he picked up, but he has been stretchered off here. Not a good sight here for the Vincentian outfit.
It looks as number 16. Spring,
and
is
that
it?
will be DL Spring, 20-year-old DL Spring, who plays his football in Poland. If it's actually Spring.
it's likely that we would see a change, someone coming in for him.
He doesn't seem to look good going off on a stretcher, Selwyn.
Definitely not.
So one thing to be limping off, but to be stretchered off is a greater concern for the team. Again, St. Vincent giving away the ball quite easily. I think there's a lack of confidence in the players not being able to want to pass the ball to their fellow players and finding the spaces. So Cuba always tend to be picking up some free balls in the middle of the field and in the defensive area.
Cuba in possession, chip ball, deep searching. Problems here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ball getting out of the danger zone. Cuba winning away possession this time again. And a lot of pushing. It's going to be a goal kick. Number 19 for Cuba. Can't hold on to it. That's Willen. There was a lot of pushing, fighting to get possession. And Willen getting a boot to it. It's going to be a goal kick. St. Vincent and the Grenadines nonetheless doing pretty well with the challenges and being able to stave off the attack. Cuba is probably frustrated by this time, making it about 36 minutes gone in the first half. Not much time again before the interval, and either one of the teams would want to go in at the rest at least one goal up. 0-0, no problem, but you just don't want to go with your back against the wall at the interval in your dressing room, because there's a lot of talking when you are down in the dressing room. All there with it for Cuba on the left flank, looking to send his man square pass. That's Modesto on the right side. To easy football for the men on the right. Number 8 for Cuba. Davide moving pretty nippy on that right side. Number 13, Luis. Backward pass. Finding all there. Nice long searching ball on the right flank. And his man gets it, plays it backward into the middle, looking for that chip ball. Cuba in possession still. St. Vincent and the Grenadines back in that danger zone. Packed in that danger zone. The ball in midfield. Luis for Cuba gets it on the left flank. A nice through ball here, slipping his man quite nicely. Number 11, Lazaro. Two men around him here. A fight for possession. And that seems to be Jorge Luis. Cuba, with that fighting spirit, the shot comes in. It ricochets off the referee. Cuba with a little bit more purpose. Probably they have been listening to me, knowing that it's about 8 minutes into the first half.
A very dubious tackling did there by the Vincentian defender against the Cuban. He was appealing for the penalty because the player already clipped his ankle. The referee was right on the spot here, and he's going to have a bum ball. Not sure the reason for that, but it was a close call indeed for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, just inside of the penalty area.
That's York playing it backward to Chance. Chance looking for that long ball, not able to find Edwards. Francis, that is.
So the player that was out was Nigel Charles. He's just made his way back onto the field, Selwyn.
Number 16, is it?
Number 20.
No, number 20.
Nigel Charles.
16 on the far side taking that ball and going over. No, it didn't go on the touchline. An infringement, says the referee on the far left-hand side in the SVG defense. Nice through ball.
See, Cornelius has made the switch to the left-hand side now, Selwyn. So apparently the coach may have heard us for what we were saying here, and he was able to pick up that loose ball there and had a shot on goal, but didn't have much support. But again, some thinking by the coach here, moving Cornelius around. The experienced Cornelius with 49 caps. This will be his 50th cap for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he's expected to marshal things in the midfield for the team.
Ball going harmlessly into Chance. Chance not really having any problems this afternoon. He exhibited one or two good saves, very good position in the last shot that he got. He was just there on the first post to collect within his abdominals, grasped the ball quite nicely in the approved fashion. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, long searching ball, going into touch this time.
And there is Cornelius back on the right-hand side. So he's really trying to mesmerize the defensive lineup for Cuba, moving from left to right. And I guess that's good thinking. That's good positive thinking by Cornelius and Coach Mercury.
Let's see whether the time will come when he penetrates. Cuba with possession this time on the right flank. The ball bouncing off his man there. Number 2, Bess is there to collect. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines winning away possession, but apparently the ball going into touch on the far side. So it's going to be a throw to Cuba. 0-0 in this encounter.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half, Selvin. And it's a dead rubber, so to speak. Cuba enjoying more possession and creating more chances, but St. Vincent comes forward now with a
Good
nice
football
attack.
by Francis. Plays his man on the left side, and that's Francis. And number 17 is it?
Number 19, that's Gibson Francis and Kyle Edwards, correct.
Good fighting spirit. Through ball in the middle to Cuba. Luis. The ball ricocheting off number 20, Nigel Charles. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Luis is going to take the throw. Jorge Luis backward to all there. To Modesto. William. Cuba now coming forward. A good touch on the far side by Bess, number 2 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Cuba winning away possession. The ball comes in aimlessly just on the first post. The goalkeeper is there. Nice comfort taking the ball in their approved fashion. Gets forward and enjoy. You could see chances enjoying his game. I like his temperament. Plays the ball forward.
And here's where
Good
Cornelius
football.
should really be involved in the play.
Good pressure there by Francis. Cuba in possession. Slipping his man, William. William moving to the right, looking to have a shot, and it's headed out of the danger zone. And pretty risky there then. Over the goal line, so it's going to be a corner to Cuba. Cuba, you've seen that style and fashion in going forward, but apparently definitely not making use of
Yeah, I think
the.
what has happened with them, they're not coming forward in the numbers they were coming forward earlier. So when they get the ball in good positions, when they look up and look inside of the penalty area, they're not seeing enough white shirts there. And so they have to stop and retreat and maybe just try to get it inside, hopefully. But let's see what happens here now with the corner.
Luis Xavier to take it. Cuba. Nice chip ball. The heads go up. It's out of the danger zone. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession on the left flank. A lot of running. And infringement goes in the process. The referee says in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Make it about 2 minutes to the half.
So it'll be interesting to see who goes into the halftime interval with the momentum, Selvin. And that's always a very interesting observation because a lot of the times the team that goes into the dressing room with the momentum comes out with a lot more fighting and aggression in the second half. It'll be good to see if St. Vincent can really put together something in this dying stages of the first half and go into the dressing room with the momentum. Nonetheless, Cuba would not want to have any of that. They're in possession, they have the ball, so they can do all the creativity and all the aggression now. St. Vincent will be desperately trying to regain possession of the football, but it's all Cuba for the moment. Cuba still has it, stringing together quite a number of passes, moving it from left to right, and using the midfielders to link it as well. Good possession football indeed by Cuba. But again, the penetrating pass is just not coming. The final passes in the offensive third. Good pickup here by Cuba, just about the penalty spot. They still has it. It's
This
Cuba.
is Villan.
St. Vincent desperately trying to win this ball, but Cuba is enjoying great position here. Good string of passes. Good passage of play for Cuba indeed. We're just seconds away from regulation time towards the first half. Cuba might want to get that ball inside. They do so now, but it's headed away by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 1 minute would be added on for stoppages. So Cuba still has 1 minute to look for that go-ahead goal. St. Vincent has 1 minute to keep the score as it is, or maybe even look for a goal of their own. From the looks of it, Cuba is applying a lot of pressure, and St. Vincent really trying to catch on here. Good through pass here. Would this be the moment for Cuba? The cross comes in now. The shot is taken and missed. But a good build-up and good frustration on St. Vincent part. But what a miss here by the number 3 player for Cuba. That's Xavier Lewis. And he really should have netted that one just outside of the 6-yard box. It's one of the areas where a striker will be licking his lip to get the ball, the middle of the goal. And indeed, a bad miss here by Cuba.
I like their strategy in going forward. Patient at times, hold the ball. As a matter of fact, we are seeing a lot of skill in the process in getting that ball through. And for a moment, I thought that was the best attack they would have had within the 45 minutes. They did work.
So it's now halftime here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in a Group C CONCACAF match between the Vincent Heat from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Cuba. It's 0-0. But Selvin, in assessing the first half, I thought Cuba enjoyed the greater possession. St. Vincent were always pegged back. They were defending. They didn't have much opportunities to string passes together as Cuba was the dominating force here. But nonetheless, we've seen some improvement from St. Vincent and the Grenadines from their previous game. Their marking is much better. They've been able to defend a lot more astutely and really keeping Cuba at bay for the moment.
And they're showing a lot more purpose. I'm not too sure if the atmosphere tells the story, because they have been training here and they would be accustomed to here. So you would see their performance much better, dealing in a zone that they are comfortable with. And I thought that they did put on a good show, knowing that Cuba more skillful than the two. And they got through. As a matter of fact, I'm not seeing Cuba's style and fashion throughout the game, only in this dying stages.
As we look at the stats, Selwyn, Cuba having 7 shots on goals against 0 from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Cuba again with 4 corner kicks as compared to 2. The fouls have been even. And goalkeeper Chance really called on to put on 4 beautiful saves as there were some attacks from the Cuban forward lineup. But again, a dead rubber, so to speak, Cuba enjoying the ascendancy and enjoying the greater passage of play. St. Vincent holding their own, having coming down from a 10-0 defeat to Guatemala in the previous game. And maybe using this stadium as their home ground, considering that they've been here for, what, a month and a half, 2 months? And would have had a lot of preparation on these grounds. And maybe that has assisted them somewhat in getting accustomed to the facilities and holding their own. So we're going to take a break here. We're going to be back maybe in the next 10 minutes time for some more live second half action. But we just want to say hello to the folks out there in St. Vincent and to say a special good evening to Christelle Huggins, who is here in Grenada and enjoying the live match and has been providing us with a lot of the information that we are sharing with you here. We also want to say a special good evening to the Vice President of the FA in St. Vincent, Mr. Grant himself, and that's a personal greeting to you, Grant. As we encourage you to stay with us, we'll be back for some more second half action from downtown St. George's. Cuba 0, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0.
Good luck, Vincent! Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Yeah, good luck, Vincent Heat!
Good luck, Vincent Heat. Go out and do it. Win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat! Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat! Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent. I rep Vincent Heat!
Good luck, Vincent Heat! Team Vinci, Heat Nation, all the way! Team Vinci!
Calling all female footballers. Here's a challenge for you. Record a video of yourself showing off your juggling skills. Post to Facebook and tag us at SVG Football Federation or Instagram at SVGFF_football. No ball? No problem. Get creative with it. You can use any item to participate in this challenge. Videos should be no longer than 20 seconds. The video with the most likes by 12 p.m. on Saturday, 5th June will win $100. Second place will win $75 and third place $50. Dust off your shoes, let's see what you got.
Hi, I'm Tonisia Baptiste, Women's Development Officer within the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation. It has been a long and challenging year since the outbreak of the coronavirus and then the eruption of the Lassafere volcano. And like us, we know that you miss being on the field. We miss you, and while we may not be able to give you what you crave the most, we're asking you to meet us where we can until we're able to meet where we want.
Are you interested in learning more about football?
Do you want to explore all the possibilities that football has to offer? Well, we have just the thing for you.
The women's department is embarking on an online series under the theme Aspire to Inspire. We teach, we learn, we grow together. On and off the field of play. Get towards engaging and enhancing our knowledge of the game we all love.
Why should you participate? This series tackles a number of areas within football and life. We are offering you a fresh new perspective and opportunity to grow in the sport we all love. You will gain further knowledge of the sport, give input on our way forward, learn about how football can impact your life in positive ways, and meet new people from all over the country.
Hear from football enthusiasts, healthcare professionals, and players themselves about football and its endless possibilities for development. We also want to hear from you. These sessions will be fun and interactive, and you will have the chance to contribute ideas to the development of the women's game.
Join us on the Zoom platform Saturday, June 5th, as we begin a series of online activities. We are excited to meet with you, interact with you, and grow with you. See you there.
Good luck, Vincent! Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Yeah, good luck, Vincent Heat.
Good luck, Vincent Heat. Go out and do it. Win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat. Vincent Heat.
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat.
Vincent! Vincent! Vincent!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent! I rep Vincent Heat!
Good luck, Vincent Heat! Team Vincent, Heat Nation, all the way. Team Vincent.
Good luck, Vincent! Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Yeah, good luck, Vincent Heat.
Good luck, Vincent Heat. Go out and do it. Win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good luck, Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat. Vincent Heat.
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent Heat.
Vincent! Vincent! Vincent!
Vincent Heat!
Vincent! I rep Vincent Heat!
Good luck, Vincent Heat! Team Vincent, Heat Nation, all the way. Team Vincent.
Richie sent us. Good afternoon again and welcome wherever you are viewing this live broadcast. Is Group C Conca World Cup qualifier between the Vincent from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Cuba. We reconvene with the scores 0-0 at the halftime interval, and to bring you the live commentary is Selwyn Noel and myself, Leslie Smith. Selwyn, what do you think the coaches would have been saying to either teams during the halftime interval?
Thank you, and good afternoon again, Leslie. Well, they need to score goals. I think this is what is important. This would be the motivating factor on the basis of how the table looks, at least if it is more attack the game as a practice session. But they need to at least score goals, to have some bragging rights. This is for bragging rights here now. And the only thing that you can do is to score goals. How you go forward in scoring goals, St. Vincent got to move forward. Cuba has already moved forward, and they were denied more so, probably they had one or two missed chances, but nonetheless, St. Vincent and the Grenadines did stand up to it, and we notice in the early stages now a lot more purpose by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They're playing high and looking to get forward more so, put the Cubans under some pressure. So let's see exactly what is going to happen in the second half of play. Through here on the near side for Cuba, and that's number 6 to take it. The ball inside, Willian gets it, is still traveling, still regains possession this time, makes a backward pass, finding Modesto, plays it inside to Alberto, looking for his man on the far side. Cuba with the possession. They love to possess the ball, have the ball in their grasp at all times. This is what it is about. Nice take down here by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but Cuba comes away and winning away possession. So as it is, you can see Cuba a more skillful team. Nonetheless, St. Vincent and the Grenadines applying the pressure on a somewhat man-to-man basis. Infringement goes, and this is against Cuba. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines this time, the man down seemed to be Velox. We need to see the St. Vincent and the Grenadines strikers do a lot more work with the ball up front, whether it is playing the coordinated play or doing some dribbling, some solo dribbling. That might work.
Well, no teams have made any substitutions during the halftime interval, so they're back with their starting lineups. But what we expect is some structural changes by both coaches. So we're hoping that Coach Mercury would have done some rearrangements, looking to offer something different for the Cubans to encounter in this second half, and maybe pressing forward a little bit more, changing up the strategy from the first half, maybe trying the long ball, maybe trying some wing attacks, some different approach, bring something new and creative to this second half. Easy giveaway here as Cuba moves forward, but stopped in the tracks here by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Again, the pass is not a good one, and Cuba wins it easily in the middle of the field. Cuba on the attack, this time down the left-hand side, gets inside the penalty area, still has it. It's been fouled just outside of the penalty area, and that's looked like a foul being committed here by Charles, it seems.
And we noticed that Lazaro, since in the early stages of the first half, has been doing a lot of dribbling. And I think that he loves the ball. This is Lazaro going through, and there he's fouled. He's been put under some pressure and fouled just outside the 18-yard box from a somewhat acute angle.
Well, that's a position a dead ball specialist would love, just outside the penalty area with a slight angle, and if you can curl it over the wall and get it to dip, like a sort of a Ronaldo kind of a free kick here, over the wall and dipping very quickly, it can spell danger here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Let's see what will happen here. I know that goalkeeper Chance has been showing his agility throughout the first half. Let's see exactly what will happen. Number 10 for Cuba, that's Arichel. He's behind it. Nice dip searching ball and a good kick nonetheless, but shading the upright, the ball going over the bar. Nonetheless, Chance was there, following quite nicely.
Yeah, I think Chance had it well covered here. I thought the kicker would have gone for the other end of the goal, but he tried to get it over the wall and dip in here, but Chance had it covered nicely.
Long ball for Chance. The ball going on the side there to Velox. Backward pass, finding Bess. Bess pushing that ball to Nazir. On the right side, St. Vincent and the Grenadines losing away possession. I think this is one of the problems also with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not being able to hold on for possession for any length of time. Cuba here. Ball going forward, all there with it, pushing his ball on the right side, finding Lazaro, the dribbler.
He's really having his way here, Lazaro. Cuba still has it.
Good shot coming in, and just somewhat meters outside the left upright.
So that man, Onel Lazaro Selwyn, is really having his way through.
Yes.
He's actually threading his way through the defense of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
He's seeing it. He's seeing it. All it takes is for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to put some pressure on Lazaro and probably double team him.
So a lot more hustle and aggression from St. Vincent too. So Coach Mockery would have really tell them to up the ante in the second half. They come out with a lot more purpose this time and really hustling the Cubans.
Cuba in possession, Davide. This is Willan looking to send his man up front, and winning away possession is number 18. Is it? That seems to be York. Playing the ball forward.
And Charles giving it away easily here. I'm not sure who he saw on this occasion, Selwyn, but there's actually no Vincentian player within close proximity to where the pass was made.
Probably just wanted to get the ball out of his possession to be away from that pressure, getting himself off of the pressure zone. Some players, that could be a bit of anxiety too, nonetheless. The ball, a fight for the ball going over the goal line. It's going to be a goal kick. Pressure being put on the Vincentian defender. Catapulted somewhat, that's number 5. That seems to be Sutherland.
Player is down inside of the penalty area of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Vincentian player is down. Looks like cramps to me, the way he is crouching forward. And maybe it's an occasion for St. Vincent to regroup a little bit. Cuba may want to also reconsider the strategy as well. Well, that's Charles, that's down. That's Nigel Charles. The second time we see him down for the match. He went out on the stretcher during the first half, and the stretcher has again been brought on field for him. But this time he's up, he's going to limp off, which may be a good sign that he's not too seriously injured and can resume play shortly.
I have to a lot of empathy with the SVG team. Yeah, I know that they have gone through a lot. It's not the team that I know. And they have gone through a lot.
The days of Jack and these guys.
Yes.
that was a very powerful Vincent Heat.
Obviously. I know they would have gone through a lot, and it takes a lot of them to at least cope in such conditions. They are doing pretty well here. Unlike the game that they played in Guatemala. Guatemala was a game of a different circumstance, looking at the atmospheric conditions. And probably they should have trained in Guatemala at that time, at
As you
least.
see, a lot of the Cubans are here. There's a strong Cuban contingent here in Grenada. Most of them are doctors and nurses, some engineers as well. And they've come out with their numbers and their flag as well to support their Cuban counterparts.
Well, they would probably want to see goals.
So those of you who are very familiar with the stadium here, it is a secondary pavilion that spectators are allowed in today. They're not allowed in the main pavilion. And of course, they must have their complete or full COVID shots to be able to attend the football game. We expect the crowd to build up later on with the local team coming up against Montserrat from 7 p.m.
Best with the ball for St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the left flank, looking to send his man further down the line. And that's Francis going around this man quite nicely. And he's been put under some pressure. Infringement goes. And very skillful work he tried there. As a matter of fact, he has the experience. That's number 17. Is it Francis? Francis, it is.
That's Kyle Edwards.
Yeah, he has the experience. As a matter of fact, he's an international figure.
He plays for Rio Grande Valley FC, and he has 5 caps for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But it's good to see the individual skill coming into focus. It's the first time in the game we've seen, except for maybe Cornelius, another player really trying to take the ball and challenge the Cubans.
Throw taken there by Charles on the far side for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's tucked away in midfield. Good midfield tussle for the ball. It falls now in possession of Cuba, sending his man forward, intercepted nonetheless. Backward pass, goalkeeper Chance comes off his line, collects. I like the temperament of Chance. He hugs that ball into his chest. He's in total command. Breaks the play loose on the left side.
Well, he was required to pull out 4 saves in the first half.
Yes.
That's Chance.
Ball goes into touch. It's going to be a throw for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And we see Kamal Best wincing in pain here.
Yes.
May have gotten the rough end of the challenge. It goes down now. Seem to have taken some knock in the challenge. Seems to be holding onto the shoulder, the left shoulder, Selwyn. And I think there would have been a collision when they went up, when they contested that air ball.
Yes.
Referee Guerrero there asking him to go off, if he may, so that the play can continue. The referee not having so much to do, Selwyn. No cards have been issued. Not too much physical play as well. Not even many offsides, as we see some flaring arms here now. And that could be trouble for Kyle Edwards, as the arms are really flaring here. The referee's having a word with him. Cuba comes forward again, but Chance comes off his mark, makes the punching save. As St. Vincent looking to push out with a counter-attack, but been slowed down in the process as they look to string some pass down the right-hand side. Still has it at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Goes wide now to find Charles. Charles back into Nazir. Ball given away here, Selwyn, as Cuba comes forward again. Been pushed to the turf here. That's Nazir being called for the offense. Player down is Jorge Luis. As we see the right arm here really putting some pressure on Luis. Charles not too happy with the call. As we see the first substitution about to be made by Cuba. And the player coming off is number 19, that's William. And the player going in is Michael Alejandro. It's going to be a double substitution, it seems, by Cuba. So Alejandro goes on, and also going on would be Darren Rees Rudas, and he will be replacing the number 8 player, David Fabrizio. So double substitution by Cuba, looking to maybe apply some offensive power here, looking for that go-ahead goal. It's still 0-0 here in this encounter after just about 60 minutes of play. Kick taken here by Cuba here, looking for the substituted player who just came on, unable to find him. St. Vincent partially clears, but Cuba still has it, goes out wide here now. Looking to get past his man here. Cross comes in, it's not a good one, goes behind the goal, and so St. Vincent can breathe a sigh of relief. So Cuba looking to pull all of the tricks out of the bag now with the double substitution. We've yet to see a substitution from St. Vincent. We saw Charles going down twice. Charles, one of the defensive players here, maybe under some pressure as well, as Cuba comes forward again with a lot of speed and purpose. You know, the pass is not a good one, and shepherded into touch here by Cornelius, who has been called to do defensive duties. And so the pressure continues to be mounted on St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
We see the Cuba making a lot of raids, and they all going a begging. I'm not too sure exactly if they are intimidated by the way that the Vincentians are coordinating their defense. There ought to be something. This ball going a begging, no one running through the space to collect it. So you making that advance forward, and it just goes.
So here's an opportunity for St. Vincent to actually come out and compress Cuba in the own half of the field. But we see in doing so, the forwards is moving forward, the defense is staying back, and a big space is now created in the middle of the field. Another opportunity for St. Vincent to come forward here. The pass is a good one here. Finding this man who makes a nice back heel. St. Vincent on the prowl here, but losing the ball now, still fighting for it hard. It's a strong tackle here right in front of the referee. He's asking the player to get up, and the player that goes down here is Gibson Francis, as Cuba looking to come down that right-hand side with a skillful striker who has been put under some pressure here by Velox, and wins a corner for Cuba. I think that'll be the 5th corner for Cuba in the match. A lot of players packed inside of the penalty area for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's see what kind of set play Cuba has on this occasion. The corner to be taken by Luis Xavier. Plays it short. He's back with Xavier. Trying to get past Velox. Strong challenge, but it's going to be another corner, it seems, for Cuba.
Cuba seem to be having the better of exchanges lately.
Long corner taken out. The heads go up. It's St. Vincent who wins it, partially cleared. The shot comes in, but chance is right there to cover the goal and to avert any danger. As he bowls it out now to find Velox. 3 players converge now on Edwards. Kyle Edwards been really roughed up here by the Cubans. And we see a lot of skill now being exhibited by Kyle Edwards in the second half. He plays for the Rio Grande Valley FC. Some 5 caps for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Look pretty much a nippy player is Kyle. St. Vincent goes back and resets. Goes all the way back to Chance. Chance is going to swing it to the right. Ball in it a little bit more pace, but luckily St. Vincent comes away with it still. Looking to come forward is St. Vincent. Been pressured, been sent back. The looping pass been made down the right-hand side, and Cuba wins possession here again. A throw into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Selwyn, and we see St. Vincent now trying to string some passes, looking to push out now. And I'm sure the folks back home may have sent some energy to the team, and they're looking to redeem themselves and at least to please the fans back home who are looking at this broadcast.
The middle of the field is still empty.
Lazaro. Always there. Nice chip pass forward, looking for the header. The shot header comes in, it's goal. Goal number 1 for Cuba. A nice looping pass it was indeed. And the goal scored here by
Josel, it looks as number 6 or 8. Number 8.
Fabrizio, if it's number 8. But look at the ball that has been played here now. Nice chip here. over the defense here, find his man nicely, who had the header, who had chance off the line, and scoring a comfortable goal, number 9. The substitute, number 9, that's Mikel Alejandro. What a substitution indeed by Cuba to find that go-ahead goal, as we see the first substitution now by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The goal coming in the 64th minute of play by the number 9, Mikel Alejandro for Cuba. And the score, Cuba 1, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0.
I think that was a very good cross nonetheless. And Alejandro, he read it quite nicely. I thought that the goalkeeper moved a little too quickly off his line, and he was caught just on first post. And
as a matter of fact, Selvin, it was a combination between the two substitutes.
Yes,
the number 20, Darren Reyes Rudas, and the goal scorer himself, number 9, Alejandro. St. Vincent looking to find the equalizer now. They have been pressured here in this Group C World Cup qualifier. So the 16-year-old Velox has been substituted, and coming in for him is Doran Hamlet. Hamlet has 10 national caps, so a fair amount of experience, I would think. He's wearing the number 8 T-shirt. And the young 16-year-old Velox from Layu has been taken off.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession, one man down. A bit of roughness. Looking for some support or sympathies. Getting to his feet. And that's number 17. He has been taking a lot of knocks. That's Edward St. Vincent and Grenadines going forward, and he's been
Cornelius
put down.
goes down. He's appealing for a penalty. The referee, Guerrero, is going to have none of that, but Cornelius is pretty much upset. Let's see what happens here. I don't think it was a foul that warranted a penalty. He was under some pressure, but I think he opted to go down, but I didn't see enough contact there to call this a penalty.
Cuba in possession. Modesto.
So we've seen a lot more end-to-end stuff now, Selwyn, as St. Vincent looking for the equalizer and Cuba maybe looking for the comfort goal, so to speak, the second goal.
Nazir. Backward pass, getting the ball free up, get some comfort. Nice through ball. Problems here for Cuba. And that's
Kyle
Francis. Oh, no.
As Kyle
Edwards.
Yeah, he really didn't have much options. He opted to go for goal. Got a deflection of the defender, but in the end, danger averted. I thought he would have used his skill and tried to dribble past the defender, but he opted to pull it back on the right foot. Had a shot on goal. It was not a very powerful one. It rebounded off the defender, and then it became an easy take for goalkeeper Nelson for Cuba.
1-0 in favor of Cuba. Goal scored by the substitute, Alejandro. Cuba going back into that calm mode again. Modesto with it. Nice through pass. So hoping to find the midfielder there, and they robbed up possession. St. Vincent and the Grenadines problems here. And that seems to be Lazaro fighting. And the St. Vincent and the Grenadines winning away possession. Nice square ball finding Nazir. Nazir not being able to find Edwards. The ball goes harmlessly into the Cuban defense, Modesto.
But moments ago, Selma, we saw some very good defensive work there by Sutherland, Javin Sutherland, to really stop that offensive attack by Cuba as the Cubans come forward again.
Infringement.
Scalia against Jamal York. And if you can get maybe a 20% of a Dwight York from Jamal York, Selwyn, St. Vincent might beat him with a good chance.
Yes. No, in the Dwight York, in the is it the Shell Cup in 1989,
89.
1990, yes. And still at that time, there were a number of skillful strikers in the small territories nonetheless. Grenada, no exception, because remember, Grenada was on top of its game in that era. The Drayton, the Steve Mark, you call him chair. The president was also a capper.
So, Selvin, let's see what happens. Let's see the set play by Cuba. It's played short. The wall comes out and served its purpose well by thwarting this offense from Cuba, and danger averted there. So the set play didn't work here, but Cuba still has the ball. It's going to be a throw-in. The out there in numbers, St. Vincent with a lot in the back as well. It's only Kyle Edwards up front, and that has been a completely different strategy to the first half. At least now they have one man up front all the time. During the first half, all 11 players were defending. Cuba down the left-hand side. I'm sure they'll be looking for that man, Onel Lazaro, soon. He has been creating a lot of dangerous moves for Cuba. Very skillful indeed. A lot of self-confidence to carry the ball and take it to the defenders is Lazaro. Good interception here by the Vincentian left back.
Only
look
to
as
succeed
best,
to putting
Kamal
the ball
Best.
into touch, though. Nonetheless, it's good to know that there's someone around who can create the problems. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines winning away possession here. Problems for Cuba. And that's Edwards making that long cross on the right side. And his man giving up the chase. Cuban defender winning the ball. Playing it back to Nelson. Nelson to Modesto. Modesto on the right flank. Playing it to, that's Hosel.
I think part of the problem now for St. Vincent is that Kyle Edwards is playing up front by himself. Bad miss here by the defender Best. And he takes down his man in the process. That might just be the first yellow card of the match. Let's see what referee Guerrero would do. But a bad miss here by Best, and then found himself in a very clumsy position to take down the number 6 player for Cuba. That's Yosel Gulen.
But there was an awkward bounce in the ball, and apparently he didn't read it well. So whether he had to stop. A change being made, number 15 for Cuba.
That's Junior Yuri, and going off is Carlos Alberto. So a defensive player has been taken off Selwyn. That's Alberto. He was very good in defense in the first half, and I'm sure it's a midfielder that has replaced him here as part of the strategy for Cuba. But let's see what other set play Cuba has here. And the man taking it is none other than Onel Lazaro. He has been in the thick of things for Cuba. Curls it nicely and looking for the striker. The heads go up. One in the air by Cuba. And again, the poor marking by SVG. And Chance having to take his chances here and pushing this one over the bar to avert the danger here. And maybe goal number 2 for Cuba.
And Lazaro. He seems to be a specialist. Look at the curl in that
great
ball.
service indeed.
Yes.
Great service indeed. Chances down for the count, it seems.
The ball curled back into the header, and
it's always difficult for the goalkeepers because it's moving away from them.
Yes.
And it found the head of the Cuban striker, but Chance was on his line in the right position at the right time and been able to push this one over the bar. Apparently he's pulled up a cramp as well on the calf muscle.
Normally when the footballer is cramping, and that would depend on the straps on the shin guard, how tight you lace your boot straps. Because I find that too many times the players go cramping, and that could affect them nonetheless. But it's going to be a corner to Cuba.
The signal goes up with the right hand. Let's see what comes out of this one. Corner to be taken here by Luis Xavier.
Just a while ago, he had a short corner and he got away with it. Nice chip ball inside. The
Heads
heads
go
go up, and a good save there by goalkeeper Chance. Cuba again winning away possession nonetheless. And Luis getting it. Infringement goes no. Being put under some pressure. He got back up there to win possession. But apparently the defender is down hurt. look at the ball. Good save there by Chance. But Cuba, again, still winning away possession.
Another yellow card been issued, this time to
Luis, number 23 for
Xavier.
Cuba.
I thought he should have been called the first time for the foul. The referee didn't, but on the second occasion, I'm sure for repetitive fouling, he has picked up a yellow card. But Cuba is winning all the balls in the air inside of the Vincentian penalty area. And the Vincentians do have some tall players there, like the number 2 right before, say, Kamal Best. But I think what Cuba has also identified is that there are some tiring legs now, especially the left back for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we see here our man number 11, Lazaro, is putting a lot of pressure on that left-hand side for St. Vincent because he recognized that that is one of their weakest links in the back.
Well, Spring is down, number 16, the midfielder for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that would be in that tussle with Lazaro. The attendants being called on to see exactly what is wrong, but he looks as though he would not be able to continue.
And Selwyn, I want to again recognize the effort of Chance in goal. Chance to me is the brightest spot we've seen from St. Vincent and the Grenadines today. And we are into the 75th minute, and so far I would crown him player of the match for St. Vincent because of the numerous brilliant saves he has put on here for St. Vincent. Had it been a weaker goalkeeper within the bars, the scoreline would have been different. So Charles has really come to the party, has really earned his money, so to speak, today. And at least one bright prospect we've seen here for SVG in this encounter.
I think that he would get or at least gain a lot of experience with the work he has put out this afternoon. I am finding that he is reading the play well. For the saves that he has put off, and blocking saves more so. I didn't fault him much for the header that went in. I thought that he misread what was taking place because of that high curling ball. And probably his defenders didn't give him that kind of support. So it was a free header, and he was caught really in no man's land.
Again, an aimless pass here been made by Bess after getting past a couple players. Again, he lacked that creativity and not being able to find any of the strikers. No, he wasn't able to find a Kyle Edwards or anyone. But we have not seen much of Cornelius. That's Stewart in the second half. Selwyn, I'm not too sure if the Cubans have really shut him down. But the creativity and so that we expect from him, he's playing the right half position now, and not much action is coming from that side.
It may appear that's one man down. This is Lazaro going through, and he's a thinker with the ball. Not really looking for him to have a shot there. He made a dribble. He's been looking at the feet, and I think this is his basic skill. He is looking at the feet for the dribble because he would he's ever so caught going into that dribble on regular intervals. And he looking for that snapshot to see if he can catch the goalkeeper off guard. But Chance is reading quite well. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession. Good booter putting here by Cuba. Cuba winning away possession this time. Coming around. A nice forward ball. Plays it square. On the right flank this time. Is it Lazaro? Yes, Lazaro is there, trying to go around the two men. He has that penchant for dribbling.
That overconfidence, you know, he thinks he can get past the defenders on every occasion. And that's overconfidence exuding itself right there before us. But Lazaro, a very skillful player, in my opinion, the player of the game. I thought he was very creative up front and creating a lot of anxious moments for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Cuba with the ball. Nice interception there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, winning away possession. But losing out this time. The ball a little too far overweighted. It goes into touch. Yosel takes the throw. It goes on to the head of the Cuban, only to go over the goal line. Harmlessly so. And it's going to be a goal kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be taken by Chance, spotting the ball. And not showing much purpose to send his men forward, although St. Vincent and the Grenadines is down 1-0. 78 minutes gone in this encounter. Chance takes the kick. Deep lobbing one. It's headed, but into the defensive zone of Cuba. Modesto picks it up harmlessly. All alone. Square pass into all there. Cuba going forward. St. Vincent and the Grenadines getting back, getting to that man-to-man position, winning away possession this time. Nice deep searching ball, looking to find his man on the left flank. One man running through the whole square ball, back inside, into the middle. That's to number 19. That seems to be Francis. And Cuba comes around, winning away possession this time. Darion gets it, plays it on the left flank. Cuba now going forward again, looking for goal number 2 into the middle. Sending his man, that seems to be Luis, and the ball going over the goal line. It's going to be a goal kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 1 goal down.
Just over 10 minutes. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this encounter, and it's 10 minutes for St. Vincent to find an equalizer, or 10 minutes for Cuba to hold on to their 1 goal advantage. But here comes Cuba. The shot comes in. It's a cracker. And it just sailed over the crossbar, but the ball easily given away again by the defense of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And luckily for them, the shot wasn't well taken, but the snapshot could have caught goalkeeper chance off guard on this occasion. That was a bad pass here, and the aggression from the Cubans. And again, a chance, maybe in the right position as well.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines are going on the prowl, and the ball tucked away. SVG still holds on to possession, carrying his man for a run. That's Nazir. Nazir gets it, plays it on the right side. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in possession, deep searching ball. It's headed away there by the Cuban defense. Infringement goes on all there for Cuba. Cuba ball, through ball quickly taken. Into the middle this time. Going back to, is it Modesto? No, it isn't. That seems to be Josel, number 6. To Modesto this time. Cuba looking to play that possession game. They have been doing so throughout the game. All they're being put under some pressure. Can SVG hold on to possession? The ball going over the touchline for a throw.
It's going to be a substitution to be made here. But Selby, I don't want it to be too harsh on the Vincentians, but I think they're completely outskilled and outmatched by the Cuban outfit. You know, some of the basic fundamentals, I think, are lacking in some of the players. The ability to control and to make the correct passes and so on. It's a young team. It's a development team, I would think, as well. We have a number of 17-year-olds in this team, one 16-year-old, and a couple experienced players like Cornelius and so on. So I guess it's a rebuilding process for this team, and maybe a lack of preparation as well. Lack of adequate preparation, notwithstanding the circumstances of COVID and the volcano and all the other circumstances.
Nazir, number 7, holding off his man quite nicely. Plays it back to Bess for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Looking for that through ball, not a good one. It's taken away there by number 20. Plays, and this is Chance collecting that ball. Cuba making a good run. Chance reading quite well. I think he has done quite well this afternoon in reading the game. St. Vincent and the Grenadines looking for that deep searching ball on the right flank. Gets it. His man looking to pull him wrong here. Trouble for Cuba. Tucked away out of the danger zone. Infringement in the process on Modesto. That's number 20 for Cuba down.
So good intention here by St. Vincent. The cross came in, but
not much inside to support. There's one problem, especially when you get back into the defense. When you get back into the defense and you win that ball, now you have to make that transition. And it should be a quiet one, a skillful one, coordinated passes to get the other team back into their defense. And then you can work from there. But from the time you are not up and you win that ball, you have to try a solo. It's only a solo run that would be able to help. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1 goal down, 1 goal to nil in favor of Cuba. making it there about 3 minutes to go in this encounter. Cuba still in possession this time. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines wins away, gets the ball bubbling. And one man around him that seems to be Edwards. It is Edwards. He's been getting a lot of physical knocks today. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines winning away possession. That seems to be the man on the far side. Sutherland winning away possession, coming into its own. And he has a shot wayward from way outside, but going over the crossbar. And you can see a little bit of temperament coming into the Vinci team here. Looking to fight back. This is a fight back in the dying stages. Normally, the dying stages is when teams usually wake up. And for a moment, they got Cuba off guard. Cuba now winning away possession on the left-hand side, playing it square in the defense to seem to Modesto to Hosel, Gillian Hosel, Pidera Hosel, playing it for forward. Nice skillful work here, and the Cuban goes down. Cuba now skilling around with the Vincent chance, and this is chance coming around. Very good work indeed. The man going through the hole, was it Lazaro going through the hole there?
I'm not sure it was, but had he had a good first touch there, it could have been danger, maybe goal number 2 for Cuba. But again, the defense again was beaten with that cross that came in there, and a chance was off his line nicely.
Cuba again in possession this time.
Lazaro, the man here again, Selwyn.
He has a good screening method with him and stretching for the ball. He isn't a tall man, but he usually gets his opponents out. He uses hands, very skillful.
And very good ball control too, because he's keeping the ball right at his toes. And with a good center of gravity based on his height too, keeping himself from falling. But here they come again, Cuba.
Hosel plays it backward. Nice through ball. One touch through the diagonal. And the cleanup, putting the ball into touch. Couldn't see who is that at getting that ball into touch, but he did good work looking to break up that triangle coordination. Number 20, good looking for that shot. That seems to be the substitute, Darion, and looking for that left booter. This is the second time he is looking for the space and making that left booter, but it is definitely not a good one. The idea is there.
But he was the one providing the assist to Alejandro for the goal.
Yes.
So, looks a good substitution indeed.
He favors the left boot. Chance taking at long kick. Infringement.
Against Cuba. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, just inside the Cuban half of the field.
And this is Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts, Trinidad and Tobago 1-0.
Well, St. Kitts have already qualified out of that group. Trinidad and Tobago having a very dismal performance these days, Selwyn. I mean, to draw with the Bahamas, to be beaten 5-0 by Guyana, and to be trashed by St. Kitts and Nevis as well. I guess the off-field incidences and situation is really having an impact on field as well in terms of Trinidad and Tobago football. A team that has gone through to the World Cup already is really struggling these days.
Well, there's a lot to be said about the coach in Trinidad. That is the debate really. I'm not too sure why it is or how much a coach is to blame in the circumstances. We have to at least agree to the fact that the coach can tell you what to do, but the coach is not out there playing the game. And we have to be able to understand that. So I think I would put some of the blame on the players likewise. This is at the Kirani James complex, Kirani James International Athletic and Football Stadium. We have Cuba versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is Hosel with the ball now, looking for that long searching kick, and it's pretty wayward. It goes over the goal line, so it's going to be a goal kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines are coming into its own a bit late, but nonetheless, they're still seeing that oomph and that fight to go forward. It's been pretty physical in midfield, technically physical, so to speak. You're not really seeing that hard pushing and cuffing and tugging, but you're seeing that sort of skillful foul. And
well, just over a minute left, Selwyn, in this encounter. In regulation time, St. Vincent with a very hopeful attempt here by Kyle Edwards. He's really the lone striker up front, playing this sort of a number 9 position, but not much support coming from around him. And so it seems as though this one would go 1-0 in favor of Cuba if everything remains as is. But a bad miss
what
here
a miss.
by Edwards. Edwards picked that up. That could have been danger here for Cuba. Cuba lives to fight another day with their 1-goal advantage. They will be well advised to play just possession football at this stage, Cuba, to play it safe, not wanting to concede that equalizing goal. Referee's having a very stern word here with the Cuban player. That's referee Guerrero from Mexico. He's also having a word with his substitute Cutland Williams. And Cutland plays for the North Leeward Predators.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines are looking to go forward. Being put under some pressure by Darion, but still holding on. Bad pass, and there goes the interception. Cuba wins away possession calmly. I think this is what they wanted all the while, and they would seek to hold on to it while probably going forward. Modesto, very cool customer he is. He reads the game as a right flanker defender. That's Hosel bringing his man around back to Modesto for Cuba into Nelson, goalkeeper Nelson, playing it now on the left-hand side. 3 minutes extra time in this encounter. Cuba 1, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0. Coming forward in possession, Darion with the ball. Slips his man quite nicely, and not being able to win away possession. This could be a problem here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Lazaro taking the shot harmlessly, though. Goalkeeper chance there was following quite nicely. You can see he's reading the game. Here the replay goes.
Some good 1-2 passes indeed. Instead of the penalty area is Lazaro here. He had it on his left foot, maybe his weaker foot as well.
Yes.
And chance was right there to avert the danger. But in the dying moments here, Cuba almost finding the second goal. They still have possession of the ball, Selwyn, and they can just play possession football, run the clock down with just over 2 minutes remaining in this encounter, in time added on for stoppages. And so St. Vincent with their backs against the wall now, with their backs against their own goal, as Cuba comes forward again in numbers. Almost a mix-up here by the defense, and we can see the tiring legs of Kamal Best. He really couldn't challenge the ball. Look at him here. He's holding every part of his body. He's Kamal Best. He's really out of sorts here this evening.
And look who is fighting. This is Lazaro. He reads the game well. I can give him that. He reads the game well. Noticing that blunder and going in to see if he can seek the advantage. Goalkeeper chance was there. Chance, a very good game. Lazaro, a very good game. So probably I would have them tossing up for the MVP of the game. Chance and Lazaro.
Just over a minute remaining in time added on for stoppages. As Cornelius comes down the right-hand side, crosses in now, looking for his striker. Almost getting there. He's the striker for St. Vincent. That's the Nazir McBurnett. And St. Vincent still has an opportunity given away now. But a good cross here by Cornelius. St. Vincent again with another attack in the dying stages. Just coming into the own, maybe too late. Maybe $1 short, $1, and just too late. As the chip comes in here now, looking for the striker. Gets to Kyle Edwards. And maybe anxiety got the better of him on that occasion. A strong tackle here with the yellow card come out again. The foul committed by number 20 for Cuba. That's Darion. And there we see again the cross from Cornelius. The head go up here, but grazing the head of Nazir McBurnett. Maybe a couple inches ago again, Selwyn, and that could have been the equalizer in time added on for stoppages.
It was directed goalward. I don't think that the height, he got to the height of the ball.
And where was that intensity from St. Vincent all game long? I mean, we in time added on for stoppages, and now we see them coming forward a lot more purpose.
Showing a lot more purpose. I'm not too sure. sometimes in the dying stages is when the game goes better or when the game goes well, because any minute now you can expect the end of the game. You can expect the referee's whistle. Nice chip ball. St. Vincent and the Grenadines going forward. The goalkeeper comes out. He punches. And Cuba wins away possession. And the two men around there in their own half. Problems here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ball on the right side this time. And he plays it nicely. Looking for the cross. And there it goes. And what a miss.
What a miss. Just as time would have been elapsed, the last opportunity on goal, Cuba did everything right except that last kick to goal, getting past the defender easily here now. And two players, Lazaro and his teammate, as we hear the final whistle by referee Guerrero. It's the end of the game. Cuba won, St. Vincent and the Grenadines nil. The final game for either teams in Group C of this World Cup 2022 qualifier, St. Vincent nil, Cuba 1. As we see at the shots on goal, 14 as against 2. 14 for Cuba, 2 for St. Vincent and Grenadines. Look at the saves here. 6 saves been put out by Chance for St. Vincent and Grenadines as against 1 by Nelson of Cuba. And that basically tells the story of this game. So a game that really lacked a lot of intensity. Cuba enjoying more possession, looking more purposeful, looking the better of the two outfits with more skill and with more aggression as well. St. Vincent really not coming into their own, and we understand why. It's a young team. There were challenges, but they were totally outclassed and outmatched by Cuba on this occasion.
Indeed, very good performance by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I wouldn't take anything away from them, knowing the pressures that they went through for a short period of time in the tournament. And indeed, they had a good round 1. They had a very good tournament. Today, they picked up momentum. They played the methodical game, defend when it's time to defend. Apparently, they did too much defending, and they should have put Cuba a little bit more under pressure. In the dying stages, we see the SVG lineup showing a little bit more purpose in going forward and putting that pressure on Cuba, because Cuba was really relaxed in the game. And when you put pressure on them like that, it's likely that you can get through. So Cuba, the more skillful team, they showed their purpose. They had the advantage. The two teams are almost in the same category. And let's see exactly what is going to happen. As a matter of fact, it's the end of the tournament for them. They have not qualified. They are down in the cellar. And we can only see them probably progressing later in years to come with the kind of football we see. The youth, as a matter of fact, now is the era for youth in the transitioning of the football worldwide. And this is what I'm noticing. So probably in years to come, we can see Cuba, we can see St. Vincent and the Grenadines back to its normal state as we know St. Vincent and the Grenadines in football.
Well, good luck to Cuba and congratulations to Cuba, deserved winners of this encounter. But we want to be sympathetic with the folks out there from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We were very happy to host you guys here for the last 2 months or so, under the circumstances, to be able to train here and to be able to use this ground as your home ground for this encounter. We welcome the Cubans as well. We have a strong Cuban community here. And of course, you know that Grenada had very good ties with Cuba back then. Cuba ranked 15 within CONCACAF, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 24. So that tells a bit of story as well. But we're going to leave you here now and encourage you to stay with us at 7 p.m. this afternoon. It's going to be the local team, the Spice Boys against the Emerald Boys from Montserrat. And so on behalf of the entire team, Selwyn Noel, my co-commentator, the entire TNR crew, the executive producer, Richie Olivier. And again, we want to say a special big up and thank you to Christelle Huggins from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who has journeyed all the way down here to view this match. She had to do her 7-day quarantine as well, but she managed to get out in time to see this game. We bid you farewell from the Kirani James Athletic Stadium with the final score: Cuba 1, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0. Until next time, see you.
The way we move, the way we sound, feel the rhythm. The way we fret, soaking wet, it's the world's playground. Take us in, flow with us, it's the way we play. The way we groove, the way we dance, every night and day. Every night and day. Karim, Karim, open up and say, Karim, Karim, it's the way we play. Karim, Karim, taste the Caribbean. Karim, Karim, let's unleash the fun.
Carib, it's the way we play.
Co-op Bank introduces e-payments, our new e-banking feature that allows you to save time by paying your bills online. E-payments, the swift, simple, and secure way of transferring money.
Sandals has always specialized in two people in love. So we know it's all about finding the space to be alone together. Whether you want to stroll hand in hand along a flawless stretch of white sand beach, find a cozy space that was made for romance, or even enjoy a candlelit dinner for two at one of our 5-star global gourmet restaurants, Sandals has created endless open spaces where love can blossom. It's been said that the sun, sea, and fresh air are the best medicine of all. We couldn't agree more. And at Sandals, we have an abundance of it. Now we're creating even wider spaces and taking physical distancing to even greater lengths. As the brand you can trust, our guests have been and always will be priority number one. For nearly 40 years, we've led the industry in health and safety protocols that ensure our guests enjoy a totally worry-free vacation. And in preparation for welcoming guests back to Sandals, we're once again setting a new standard of excellence with our platinum protocols of cleanliness to give guests even greater peace of mind. With extensive research from local ministries and health officials, the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization, we've instituted advanced hygiene practices across 18 touch points. A triple check system that includes inspecting, cleaning, and sanitizing hard surfaces and common areas every 20 minutes. Adding auto-dispensing hand sanitizing stations throughout the resort. To ensure the utmost safety, Sandals will be using hospital-grade disinfectants, electrostatic sprayers for advanced cleaning, UV lighting equipment to inspect cleanliness, and air duct sanitization for each room before every guest's arrival. We've gone so far as to steam clean and sanitize carpeting and flooring prior to arrivals, and placing personal hand sanitizers in every guest room. For added safety, all staff members are required to wear protective face gear at all times. And from now on, guests will be able to begin their Sandals experience before even leaving their house. Guests can check in online at home, which lets them bypass the front desk and go directly to their rooms. Stricter physical distancing protocols have also been put in place in every part of the resort. In addition, all of our spa facilities and sports equipment will be sanitized before and after use with hospital-grade disinfectants. We're also committed to providing a dedicated quality inspection team at each resort to ensure strict compliance and implementation of these safety protocols so that our guests can enjoy a 5-star luxury-included vacation that's 100% worry-free. Our entire family is ready to welcome you back to Sandals, where everyone is once again ready to show you the time of your life. So, don't worry about a thing, because at Sandals, everything's gonna be all right.
The way we move, the way we sound, feel the rhythm. The way we fret, soaking wet, it's the world's playground. Take a sip, flow with us, it's the way we play. The way we groove, the way we dance, every night and day. Every night and day. Karim, Karim, open up and say, Karim, Karim, it's the way we play. Karim, Karim, take the Caribbean. Karim, Karim, let's unleash the fun.
Carib, it's the way we play.
Co-op Bank introduces e-payments, our new e-banking feature that allows you to send money to friends or family. E-payments, the swift, simple, and secure way of transferring money.